Good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's executive webinar session of Bimser International. Today, we'll talk about how to comply with IATF 16949 quality management standards digitally in automotive and automotive parts industry with QDMS software and Acumatica ERP software together. My name is Kevin Devecioğlu. I'm the Managing Director of Bimser International. Today with me, I have my colleagues joining this executive webinar session. Let me introduce my colleagues to you. I have Acu-Quality with us. He is the president of AmRus Consulting company, and Alex will be talking about fundamentals of IATF standards. Also, we have today Sam with us. He is pre-sales software engineer from engineering team at Bimser International. Sam will be demonstrating QDMS and Acumatica ERP together. And we have Furkan Bas with us. He is product manager of QDMS software, and he'll be helping us addressing questions about QDMS and quality management standards in general. For your information, QDMS is a quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management software. That's a proprietary software system built and published by Bimser International. Let's start this webinar by introducing Bimser International as a start, and then we'll continue with Alex and we'll learn about fundamentals of IATF. Bimser International is an enterprise software maker since 1998. We are based in New York, and we have global presence in different regions, different continents, and different countries. In essence, we help companies adopt digital transformation and help companies simplify their business processes in this digital age. We have global presence while we are based in New York. We are also present in Europe, as well as Middle East and many other regions and continents. We are active through our partners and with our products in different regions available. We are ISO 9001 certified and ISO 27001 certified. So we have a quality management system in place for continuous improvement to maximize customer satisfaction and to increase productivity. We are active in various ERP ecosystems. We are an official independent software vendor, ISV, of Acumatica ERP system. We are also a Microsoft Quality development partner. We are a certified SAP independent software vendor, ISV. Also, we are an official ISV independent software vendor of MYOB ERP. In addition, we are active in Sage, Oracle, and many other ERP ecosystems with our products through our partners and our connections. Since 1998, we developed these 4 products. We have EBA. EBA is our electronic business process automation platform. It has a powerful workflow engine designed to help you digitize and run your business processes in a paperless and digital work environment. We have BEAM. BEAM is an enterprise-level asset, maintenance, facility, fleet, draw, and energy management software. We have QDMS, as we'll talk more about QDMS today. That's our quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management software. And Ensemble is an intelligent business process modeling and performance management solution. In the bottom, you can see a contract management application built on EBA platform to help you manage your contracts paperless in a digital environment. We have a new product coming up called Synergy. That's a content services management platform. That's a low-code, no-code business process automation platform. That's an upgrade of EBA platform. And Synergy will be available in next quarter, and we'll talk some about it as well in coming minutes of this executive webinar session. We have many different reputable organizations that we are working with. We work with 3M, we work with Bridgestone, Nissan, AstraZeneca, United Nations is one of our customers, Unilever, Starbucks, and many other reputable organizations, corporations, and institutions using Bimser International's products. They put their confidence in Bimser International, an enterprise level of products of Bimser International, and they use our systems on daily basis, which we are proud of these references, and we have many more. Of course, I just pick and choose some of them. We have thousands of corporate customers and millions of professional users. Great, so that is the introductions of Bimser International on a high level. Now I'd like to invite my colleague, Alex Kabartiro from AmRus Consulting. And let's learn from Alex about fundamentals of IATF 16949 in automotive industry for continuous improvement, operational excellence, and maximizing customer satisfaction and retention. Alex, if you're ready, I'd like to make you the presenter.
Okay, yes, I'm ready.
Okay, coming up. Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, you are the presenter, Alex. You can see your screen.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kevin, for inviting me for this very interesting session. And hello, everybody. And again, thank you for joining this webinar. I will talk very, very briefly about how to comply with IATF 16949, which is the automotive quality management standard. But I will talk in general about the quality management system, which really applies to the automotive standard as well as to any other ISO standard. So before I start, I just want to introduce my organization, AmRus Consulting. So I personally, I'm the sole proprietor of AmRus, and I'm certified. I'm a certified lead auditor for ISO 9001. Now I've established AmRus Consulting in 2015 after a career as a project manager in a large aerospace organization, which is certified to the AS 9100 quality standard, and that's the aerospace quality standard. So what I do now is I provide consulting services for various businesses to for them to achieve as well as maintain ISO certification. And back in 2018, I came across some of the tools that Bimser International is selling. And specifically, I became very interested in the tool QDMS, which Kevin mentioned just a couple of minutes ago. And what I found was that the QDMS tool really helps to deal with the very large amount of data that ISO typically generates. And now with this tool, now the management of all this data becomes a very simple task. So we'll obviously talk some more about the capabilities of this tool. And I also present a number of webinars and lectures on various ISO topics. So let me just go over very quickly what QMS, quality management system is. And really it has it's structured as multiple levels. Obviously, the highest level are the policies, okay? And so the policies really define your customer relationship. What do you have to do to meet your customer requirements or actually try to exceed your customer expectations? And also, the core of QMS is to implement a continuous improvement process. And that is a very important part of QMS. Now, what I want to mention is if you're ISO certified, certainly QMS is required. However, even if you're not ISO certified, it is very highly recommended that you adopt a quality management system. So going on, now we're dealing with procedures, and basically procedures is how you meet and satisfy your policies. And there are obviously a number of procedures depending on the nature of your business. You need to control non-conforming products, how you deal with corrective and preventive actions. A very important part of procedures to control your documents and records. And records, obviously, there are a number of this is the data that is generated as part of your business. Another very important part is to conduct internal audits, because internal audits help you to identify discrepancies in your processes, and this is a way to make corrections, and that becomes part of your continuous improvement process. And finally are the responsibilities. And the management is responsible to assign the roles and authorities of the organization. Not only is it important to assign the personnel resources, but also the equipment, the infrastructure of the organization. Very important is to have an internal and external communication policy, and so that everybody's aware of the quality policy, and that has to be known throughout the organization. Also, on the diagram on the right, it just demonstrates the continuous improvement process where you're always in a loop, and the important part is to measure and analyze the data that is part of your development process, or data that's coming in back from your customer as far as deficiencies. Then run an analysis, determine what's needed to correct the problem, make the changes, and then continue and remain in that loop. And this is really the heart of the continuous improvement process. Okay, what are really the major elements of the quality management system? Well, there's really three parts that are key. One is the process and their interactions. And processes, well, they're depending on the organization. There could be different levels of processes. You can have management processes. You could have the basic and supporting processes, and also very important is your outsourced processes. So, but no matter what the process is, you have to make sure that as part of the process, you're planning your activities and set up a schedule and assign personnel to make sure that those activities follow the prescribed schedule. So also very important is to establish a mechanism to monitor the progress in meeting those interim deadlines, and that information has to be provided to management. So whether it's a success or failure in meeting the deadlines, management must be aware. And then if management is aware of any problems that come up, they have the responsibility to make changes to correct whatever problems occurred. Also, as part of the ISO process, very important to identify and manage risks, and that is a very important. This risk management is certainly audited when you are applying for certification. The next one is your documents and their control. So the way documents are managed, it's really not specified by ISO, as long as they're properly managed. The most primitive method is obviously storing hard copies in some file cabinet. That is acceptable by ISO standard, but it's not recommended, because again, hard copies has to be physically located in a particular place, and now access to them becomes a problem, especially in today's environment where people are working off-site. So electronic storage is preferable, and also with electronic storage, there's a different way of dealing with it, whether you're having a central database or the information is stored in distributed computers. But no matter which way you're implementing in your organization, the important aspect is to have a configuration control of the documents. In other words, you have to maintain the traceability of changes, and changes are always made in any documents. And the other important part is that the latest changes to a document is what is made available to the users. The worst thing can happen is the users of the document are using the wrong version, and that could create a lot of problems downstream. So that's a very important part of documentation and control. And finally are your data records. So this is really a collection of all the internal data that is managed as part of your development work, manufacturing, or if you provide whatever different types of products, you have to maintain records of the data, and that consists of performing root cause analysis, and there are different tools in performing root cause analysis. So that provides you with a lot of your records. Also, doing, as I mentioned before, internal audit, because that again determines, identifies any discrepancies in your QMS, and that's a good way of catching those deficiencies and make the improvements as part of your continuous improvement process. All right, now I want to very briefly talk about IATF 16949, and this IATF means International Automotive Task Force, and that's why it was really developed by them, and that's why it's not called ISO 16949. And it is really, IATF developed an independent QMS standard. However, it is fully aligned with the structure and requirements of ISO 9001. So there's no discrepancy between ISO 9001 and the latest version of 16949. However, IATF 16949 has added certain requirements beyond what ISO 9001 requires. And the first area is that 16949 requires more documents than ISO 9001. The latest version of ISO 9001 actually deleted a number of documents, such as the quality management, the quality procedures, quality policy document is not required in ISO, but it is required in 16949, as well as a management representative is also required in the automotive version. But it really follows the same requirements as ISO, with some additional requirements which are listed here, and obviously they're all directed at the automotive industry, namely defect prevention. Yes, obviously you want to minimize defects, and that's a very important part of the industry. Reducing waste. Waste is very costly, and in a production of automobiles, so you want to obviously focus on reducing the waste. Product safety, very important, and that's a lot of regulations that deal with automobile safety. Contingency planning. Well, you know, the automobile industry depends on the supply chain, and if, let's say, one of the suppliers is not able to deliver in time, then you have to deal with contingencies, and planning for that is important to manage the automobile industry. Now, there's also requirements for embedded software. And obviously, today's automobiles use a lot of software. And again, that software has to be functioning properly, meet the requirements of the overall product. So managing the software is also a very important aspect of the quality for automobile development. Change and warranty management. Obviously, warranty is an issue, and also recalls really falls into that, because Obviously, from time to time, there will be recalls, and that has to be managed properly, and make sure that the owner of the vehicle that's being recalled is made aware of that recall. Now, and the last item is management of the sub-tier suppliers. And again, they are extremely important in delivering the parts on time, and they have to be quality parts. So obviously you need to manage and make sure that all the supply chain is all the safety and the requirements that are imposed by 16949 are flowed down to all of the suppliers. So that's a very important part of that. Okay. Okay, the last message that I'd like to convey is that, well, in general, managing QMS is a really challenging effort. And that is really even before COVID. So now with COVID, it made it much more difficult. And why is it so? Well, because obviously a lot of the employees are required to work remotely. And when you're working remotely, you now still have to access all of the QMS data, but now you have to do it from a remote location. So again, as I mentioned before, if your documents are stored in a file cabinet, then you really can't get access to them from home. So that becomes a really big issue. So virtual control of all of the QMS documents and records is really required, you know, to be able to work effectively in a remote environment. Now, conducting audits too. Now, traditionally, audits have been conducted on site, but now it is more difficult because of the pandemic. So, yes, we all hope that the COVID problems will gradually go away during this coming year. But the fact that the remote workforce has now been kind of accepted, it will likely continue because there are advantages. Working remotely, you become more productive because you don't have to commute. And also, the organization can have a larger have an access to a larger pool of labor without having them to relocate. So there are some advantages working remotely. However, the takeaway from all of this is that you need a good software tool to allow virtual access of all of the QMS data. And what I find is that QDMS certainly provides all that capability. And certainly Sam will have a further discussion about some of the tool's capabilities. But that's really my message here. So with that, I'd just like to pass that on back to Kevin. And again, thank you very much for your attention.
Alex, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Let me take over the screen and then let's continue our executive webinar session. As we learned from Alex, IATF 16949 is very important for automotive industry. When we say automotive, you may be actually producing automotive, right? You may be making cars, or you may be making parts that will be used for automotive manufacturing. You may be making seats, you may be making dashboards, you may be making doorknobs or plastic or metal parts that may be used for automotive manufacturing, for example. And you still need to comply with IATF 16949. So as we learned from Alex, IATF 16949 is actually an ISO standard designed specifically for automotive industry. So there are requirements, as we learned from Alex, that is actually designed to satisfy safety requirements and other quality management requirements based on automotive industry and safety regulations and expectations. So having said that, let's talk about how actually we can make it happen on QDMS, our quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management software. For this, I'll hand it over to Sam, our pre-sales software engineer from our engineering team. Sam will be performing a demonstration. of QDMS and Acumatica ERP system running together. There are many different things that actually we can talk about during this demonstration. To be conscious of the time, we have an agenda. So based on this agenda, Sam will be demonstrating FMEA module of QDMS, risk management module of QDMS, root cause analysis, as well as audit management and reports and dashboards. The flow of these demonstration may differ. I think Sam will show us in a way that we can all understand easily. And there are other requirements as well, as Alex mentioned earlier, to be compliant with IATF 6949. So this is just a general information as to how you can comply this standard in a paperless digital environment with QDMS and Acumatica ERP. As you saw our contact information on the screen, you can always send us an email and you can schedule a more detailed discovery and demo meeting with us so that we can talk about your specific quality management and compliance requirements. Before further ado, I'd like to hand it over to Sam, our pre-sales software engineer, and let's see how you can actually use QDMS to comply with IATF in a digital and paperless work environment. Sam, if you're ready, why don't you take over the screen? Great, we can see your screen.
Great. So, thank you for joining today's webinar, and thank you, Kevin and Alex, for your presentation. And today I will demonstrate QDMS to you, which is our quality, risk, audit, and compliance management system. And in this webinar, you will also find that how our system can help you to comply with IATF 949. So, as our system is integrated with Acumatica ERP, so we have the data that you have saved in Acumatica and feed our system accordingly. And also you can run QDMS in the same page of Acumatica. Saying like right here, I log into Acumatica and then I can also log into QDMS from my web browser. And on the left, you can still connect to the workspaces. And on the right, you can manage all the items that we have in QDMS. QDMS is a permission-based system, meaning not everyone can see everything. You will see what you are supposed to do based on the permission settings that we have for your account, meaning different users will have different permission settings based on their role, position, profession, department, and group. And then 1 second. Okay, and once after you log into QDMS, you will find all the pending tasks and also the request for approval on this home screen. For example, the document is waiting for your approval, and also like the risk assessment is waiting for your action. So those can be found in this homepage, and you can get a quick connection from the widget of the notification. In terms of the notification, you can find them in the homepage of Acumatica, and also you can find them in your email inbox. There is a two-way notification features of QDMS. So in order to make sure you will not miss any important tasks while using our system. And as now I'm logging in as the admin so that I have the full control of the system. And on the top left, this is the main menu of QDMS. You can find all the modules of QDMS, and thanks to the modular structure of our system, you can pick and choose the module that you want to have and deploy on your cloud or on-premise server. And today, based on the agenda, we will get into the FMEA management module and also the risk assessment management module. In addition, we will go into the audit management module and then to the root cause analyze tool. And first of all, let us get into the FMEA module. In this module, it helps you to manage all the records as per the failure mode and effect analyze. So we can create the FMEA plan that will be the goal that we want to achieve. For example, we can define the responsible person and also the user group, and also like the FMEA code for our record. And once it is ready, then we can create different items under this planning. As we have a planning ready, then we can create different records. And right here, you can see we can create different FMEA records under one planning. And all the records will be recorded with the version number. As for the FMEA recording, they are not one-time job. It has to be continuous. It has to be performed continuously in order to make sure we find out all the possibility of failure that we have in our company. And right here, we have an item, and then what you can enter by using and record in QDMS is the version number and also the date. And more important is we can also manage the process step, the effect, the classification, and the potential reason of the fault. And once all of those are recorded, we can also define the impact and also the likelihood that is going to happen in our company as well. So we can have different scale based on the actual operation of your company, like a scale of 10 or 5 or 3. Those are configurable in our system. So based on the actual operation of your company, then we can manage and update the system accordingly. As we have the FMEA record recorded, we can also define if there's any precaution action is needed. For example, do we need any documents or policies that update to that upload to our system, and also like any corrective action that we need. If we need some certain corrective action to be created in the system will take you to the corrective action module, as known as CAPA module, and you can create a new corrective action record and connect with this FMEA record as well. And once they are ready, then we can save it, and all the records will be updated and saved in our system with the version number. So right here, again, you can find the version number of your record, and as the original record that will be shown as 0, and the system will increment anytime when you make an amendment or update to your record. And then right here, we have the audit management module, which allows you to create different audit planning. As for the audit, we can create the planning in our system, and you can use this module for auditing your employees, like for internal use for sure. And also you can use this module to audit your suppliers, vendors, or contractors as for external use as well. So right here, you can see we have a planning, like internal audit plan. So which we want to have an internal audit. And also we can have a suppliers audit plan, as I have just mentioned. As we have the plan, like the goal that we want to achieve. And after that, we can create the audit item under this planning. As for the audit item, it's like the objective that we want to achieve. As for internal audit, how we can achieve this goal, then we have to create a different audit for all the departments that we have in our company. And we are going to audit every single employees in these departments. So we can create the audit item in this audit plan. And while we are creating the audit item, we can update the audit date and also the audit time. And if there's any subject that we want to put in our audit item, we can also put in this record as well. And once they are ready, we can also invite the auditor and auditee to this audit item. And once we save this, and the auditor and auditee will receive the notification of this audit item. And then the auditor can perform the audit to the auditee by using our system and also in the mobile application. Another nice feature to have in our in QDMS is we can also define the question from our question pool as a reference to the auditor. So the auditor doesn't have to be prepared like 5 pages of paper for auditing one employee in a certain department. And instead, we can pick and choose the question as a reference to the auditor. And then the auditor can also record the answer that he or she got from the auditee in our system, so that we can manage the audit operation digitally. And you will be ready for the audit operation anytime and anywhere with the internet connection. And in QDMS, we also have the risk assessment management module, which allows you to record all the risk and all the risk assessment activities that you carry out in your company. For example, the health and safety risk assessment planning. Again, we have the planning ready, and then we can create the items under this planning, like the objectives. As for this planning, we are going to have a risk assessment in terms of health and safety. Then we can create a different risk assessment item for different departments. And all the records will be represented in different color. And if it is in green, meaning the impact and also the impact is not critical in our company, and also is not likely to happen in our company as well. And if it is in yellow, meaning our attention is required. If it is in red, then it means that the impact is critical and it is highly likely to happen in our company. And as for the risk assessment, it is not a one-time job. In order to have a continuous improvement in our company, we have to perform this risk assessment continuously, so that you can also find the trend of your records in our system as well. If it is getting worse, getting better, or it's just doing the same, those will be recorded and shown as a trend in our system. And as for managing all the record of your risk assessment, we can define what can be goes wrong, like the result, and also the impact, the likelihood, and the system will calculate the risk index for you in order to show you the color like of your record, like if it should be green, yellow, or red. And also, if you want to have any precaution action in order to deal with this risk, then you can create a new precaution action, like creating a new document or connecting it with certain documents or a corrective action. Then you can manage it in this precaution action tab So those can be managed in our system, which help you to comply with IATF regulations. And in QDMS, we have the reporting tool that allows you to create different ready-made reports. For example, under the FMEA, we have our reporting tool that allows you to find all the activities and also create your own graphic report. It's also available in all the modules like the risk assessment management module and also the audit management module. For example, like in the audit management module, we want to create our graphical report. And before generating our report, on our left, we can define what we want to see in our report as the y-axis. And also we can set up the time frame for our report. Once it is ready, then we can draw our graph, and you are more than welcome to export your graph or your report into PDF or image for sharing with any responsible parties. In addition, we have the dashboard that's available in our system. So you can connect to our system and have the dashboard and visualize all your real-time data that you have saved in our system. So those will be shown in the ranges of the dashboard as a scorecard, as a list, bar chart, pie chart, or even a map for you to keep tracking and monitoring the KPIs and performance of your company. And in QDMS, there is an extension that helps you to do the root cause analysis. In order to find out the root cause, for example, and then we can carry out certain corrective action. We can use the QDMS extension to perform our root cause analysis. And as for your root cause analysis, it can be like the 5 whys, fishbone, as known as Ishikawa, a Pareto chart, or AD model. So those help you to find out the root cause, and we have all those applications or all those tools to help you to carry out your root cause analysis in QDMS extension. As you notice on your screen, like we have the root cause analysis tool, and it's allowed you to do the 5 why analyze, for example, and we can create a new record. And the system will first ask you, what is your problem that you are facing? And after you enter it, we have to answer why we are having this question, this problem. And as for all the tool for your root cause analysis, there is a unique workflow. The system will ask you the first why, and then the second, third, fourth, and fifth. And once you complete the whole process, then the answer of the 5th why questions will be the root cause that we have to deal with. And all the records will be recorded in an archive of QDMS extension. For example, this is the one that we have saved in an archive, like we have an out of spec product. And then you have to answer, first of all, like why we have an out of spec product. And then we can answer like we have a new machinery installed, and why we have a new machine installed. Then we can answer like a new features, so forth and so on. Once we reach the 5th question, we have never allocated any training. And this is the root cause of this problem that we recorded. And the system will help you to create a corrective action record in QDMS as well, so that you can keep tracking all the non-conformity in your company and carry out the corrective action. Similar logic to the AD model, we can create a new AD analyze model by following up the page that we have here, and we have to follow up the step one by one, like D0 and D1, 2, 3, and so on. And those will be recorded in this form. And first of all, we have to start from the D0, and then we have to save them. And right here, unless we finish D0 and D01, we are not allowed to enter anything in D2. So the system helps you to manage your problem and also your non-conformity step by step in order to find out the root cause. And right here, this is the fishbone diagram, as known as Ishikawa diagram. It's helped you to find out your root cause, which you can define what is going wrong in different aspects, like materials, method, machine, manpower, and so on. You can pick and choose the reason from a drop-down list, and once it is picked, and it will be added to the system and create a corrective action accordingly. It's come to the end of my demonstration. Thank you very much.
Sam, thank you very much for your demonstration. Let me take over the screen and we'll continue our executive webinar session. As we saw during the demonstration of Sam, we have actually many different functionalities that we can put to work for IATF 16949 compliance related activities. We can run risk management applications, we can run root cause analysis, audit management, FMEA, and many other requirements that may be coming from your QMS based on IATF 16949 in automotive industry. So having said that, I'd like to talk a little bit more about QDMS software before we go to the Q&A session. QDMS is a quality, risk, audit, performance, and compliance management software, and it has been in the market since 1998, and Bimser International is a publisher, maker of QDMS software. That's our proprietary software system. Since 1998, we managed to have more than 1,000 corporate clients and more than 1 million professional users using QDMS on a daily basis. And these professionals are managers, supervisors, quality managers, quality associates, quality engineers, and other quality management, continuous improvement, and management practitioners. QDMS is an Acumatica certified application. This is the screenshot from Acumatica's marketplace, and QDMS works with Acumatica ERP system seamlessly. Even though QDMS is a standalone application, as we build it that way, it is integrated with Acumatica and works seamlessly, smoothly with Acumatica to pull and push data so that these two modern software systems work together in a very robust way. All of our systems, as well as QDMS, actually has a very modern architecture. Thanks to this architecture, QDMS can talk to and communicate with other software systems, other business software systems as well, such as IoT devices, manufacturing execution systems, POS systems, CRM systems, as well as ERP systems, such as Acumatica ERP system. This integrated approach helps you have an integrated management system. So there will be no double entry for data, and you can make managerial decisions based on consolidated, integrated evidence, data coming to your way, so that you can make decisions for continuous improvement in a more productive way. QDMS has a modular structure. There are more than 30 modules available for QDMS. You can pick and choose any module you like. And by design, QDMS is actually vertical free. However, since we have decades of experience in automotive industry as well as other industries for quality management, you can use QDMS for IATF 16949 compliance as well. As my colleague Alex mentioned during his presentation about fundamentals of IATF, record keeping and document management is the backbone of IATF compliance. What do we mean by document management? Document management such as policies, procedures, guidelines, as well as your SOPs, for example, that you need to manage these records and you need to actually use them on a daily basis. In addition, for continuous improvement, you need to update this documentation from time to time. You may find a better way to run certain operations, so you need to update your SOP. You may need to update your policies. You may need to update your procedures based on the evolution of your quality management system. So controlled document management, controlled quality document management module is critical in that sense. There are many other modules. My colleague Sam demonstrated FMEA, risk management, and other modules such as audit management as well as root cause analysis for you. There are other modules as you see on the screen such as customer complaint, corrective action, calibration, training management, and so on. So you can pick and choose any module that you like to automate, digitize your quality management system operations based on IATF requirements. Great, so let's talk about questions that we have been receiving from you. For example, one of the questions that we have been receiving is about IATF. So we are using different forms for quality control and risk management as well as safety purposes. Is it possible to digitize these forms for IATF requirements on QDMS? Sam, maybe you can address this question. Are we able to digitize customers' quality management forms on QDMS?
Yes, you can, absolutely, for the risk assessment and also the FMEA module. So you are able to create or digitize the form that you are currently using in your company in our system so that we can see the same terminology. And more important is the workflow that you are currently having in your company as well for managing the FMEA and risk assessment.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, let me look at other questions as well at the same time. One of the questions is about the modules for IATF compliance. Which modules should I choose? What is the minimum? So there is no minimum requirement for modules that you are going to go for. You can start with a couple of modules. You can start with 10 modules, 5 modules. It's really up to you. For us, the priority is to be able to help you digitize and automate your quality management and compliance operations. So you can start with a couple of modules. You can expand it later on. There is always an option for you to add additional modules of QDMS. So that option is always on the table. So you can start with any module that you like. Typically, our customers start around 10 modules. Some of our customers, they start phase by phase. So they start with 2 modules at each phase, and then they scale up accordingly. So either approach is fine by us. So based on your availability, based on your resources, you can start accordingly. And again, you have our contact information on the screen. If you like to continue this conversation, if you like to ask some other questions that you may have, if you like to schedule a meeting with us for discovery as well as for demo sessions, please send us an email and we'll be happy to address your questions. Alex, do you have any final remarks before we end our executive webinar session?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to, I guess, stress that in order to manage any quality management system, and certainly the one for the automotive 16949 requires the management of a lot of data. And unless you use a tool, and certainly QDMS is an excellent tool for that, you will have a lot of problems dealing and managing QMS. And that's why I think that using a tool like QDMS will certainly simplify your work. And also at the same time, if you're using the tool properly, you will have very little effort in preparing for an audit because all the information will be already there. And once the auditor either comes physically to the your location or does it remotely, everything's available for him to review. So I think a tool like QDMS really will make your work a lot easier and more efficient.
Alec, thank you very much. Much appreciated for this informative content that you are sharing. Very, very educational, very informative, as well as your presentation. As always, much appreciated.
Thank you.
As Alex mentioned, with the help of QDMS, while you are working remotely, for example, amidst COVID-19, you can run your operations remotely. You're ready for audit anytime. So there is no need for special preparations for audits on QDMS because you are using QDMS on daily basis. Your records, your documentation, your processes, your activities already registered in QDMS. So it'll be the easiest audit that you'll ever have with the help of QDMS because data is already ready to present it to the ISO auditor. The same thing also for internal audits as well as third-party audits as well. That's very important. I also get some other questions about pricing. So we don't release pricing during these webinars, but please send us an email and we can discuss your quality management requirements, your challenges, and how we can address, as well as we can also discuss pricing at that meeting as well. So we are looking forward to receiving your email regarding that sense. Also, one of the questions is about mobile application. So there is a mobile application of QDMS, and that's a native mobile application, runs on Android as well as iOS, iPhone devices. So you can use a tablet, you can use a mobile phone, for example, smartphone, to run your audits, run your actions. You can take pictures, you can upload them, you can attach them, for example. That's very, very popular among quality managers and practitioners, especially for on-site production floor audits, for example, where you can inspect and observe what is going on the production floor, shop floor, and you can take pictures, you can initiate audits and investigations if needed for continuous improvement. So everything is designed for continuous improvement. Also with IATF 16949, as we learned from Alex regarding fundamentals of the standard, that is also safety oriented to manage the risks and to make sure there is a safe work environment. Also, the products that's actually being produced are safe for automotive industry, because that's directly related to the public health and safety. So that is very important. There are, of course, many things to talk about in this subject, but to be conscious of the time, we need to end our executive webinar session here, and we are definitely hoping to see you in our coming webinar sessions. Moving forward, as final information that I'd like to share with you, we have an annual virtual conference coming up that is scheduled on March 16 and 17. Please register our virtual summit, virtual conference, and you'll be able to learn more about quality management systems, standards, about QDMS software, and other software systems of Bimser International as well. So I hope you can join us. As I mentioned earlier, we have a new software product coming up called Synergy. That's a content services platform. That's a true cloud, low-code, no-code business process automation platform to help you digitize and automate your business processes. So we'll be talking more about it as Synergize 2021 annual virtual conference as well. So I hope you can join us and learn more about it. We have a new website, bimserint.net. On this website, we put more educational content. It is more informative. There are more videos than before. So please visit our website and take a look. I'm sure you'll find some information to be very helpful and informative for you and for your organization. Our YouTube channel is very active. We have close to 300 videos available. These videos are designed to help you learn about digital transformation, manufacturing 4.0, automation, and many other popular technology and digital transformation related subjects. So please visit our YouTube channel, take a look at our playlist as well as our informative webinars, webinar recordings and videos, and please subscribe so you'll be notified as soon as we have new videos available on our YouTube channel. And finally, feel free to visit our Eventbrite page where we release and announce our coming events and conference information. You can see the list, our lineup for webinars, and you can register those that you are interested. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your interest. Looking forward to seeing you in our coming executive webinar sessions. Thank you and have a nice day.